Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of ShadeTV. Shout out to Joe Fresh Goods for sending these my way. These are the New Balance 650s, originally known as the Stuntman, now known as the photo shoot for a special person. Let's take a quick sneak peek. Welcome back, everyone, to another unboxing and review. Again, huge shout out to Joe Fresh Goods for sending these my way. This is one of the most special packages I've received this year. So because of Joe Fresh Goods, we're able to do this special unboxing for you today. So we're going to go through the overview of these, jump into size and fit, followed by how I styled this very simplistic but beautiful color scheme. Then we'll conclude with how much these went for on the retail market. Let's jump right into it. So as far as the 650 silhouette goes and the 550 silhouette goes, you already know I have so many different color variations because I'm absolutely obsessed with a sneaker that they truly brought back from the 80s archive. And I think that this is just a spectacular, simple color combination that Joe Fresh Goods decided to do on this specific sneaker. There is a bit of history behind it as well. For those of you who have not already checked out ShadeStudios, we are actually producing some amazing content and editorial pieces on a lot of the sneakers that I cover on ShadeTV. So if you are somebody who wants to read and go more into depth on any of the sneakers that I put out on the channel, definitely head to our website to check those articles out. But we will have an amazing article and backstory on the story behind this collaboration with Joe Fresh Goods and New Balance on the 650. So as far as some of the inspiration that Joe Fresh Goods had actually drawn from was when he was going and looking through some old magazines, he actually stumbled upon a picture in Life magazine. I remember this magazine back in the day. I wasn't even sure if they were still around, but he was able to find an image that was created in 1984, and it was actually Michael Jordan's classic pose of him going into a dunk position with a basketball in midair. Of course, this time he was wearing a different silhouette and different brand that what we're known for him to always be in, and that is the New Balance 650. It was an incredible picture, and I loved that they were able to capture that history and time. That just so happened to be right before the Summer Olympics, and that was kind of the story that they were capturing in that time period. But really cool that Joe Fresh Goods was able to stumble upon that piece of history and really reincarnate that with this cool collaboration with the New Balance team. As far as the color scheme goes, we do have just a nice kind of tumbled leather, again, very high quality, but in a off-white tone. And then we've got white laces that I currently have it laced up with, but I do love that we have this additional pair. It's more of a flat, not so chunky of a lace, and it's got this really cool kind of tie-dyed effect in a peachier, creamier tone. I feel like if this is too plain and simple for you, this is an option to really just kind of make the sneaker stand out a bit more with a bit of texture and a bit more color. As far as the tongue goes, we've got Joe Fresh Goods logo here with the New Balance and 650 logo in a light heather gray. Then we've got 1984 down below here, which is the year that article came out in Life magazine. Underneath, we've got Some perforation actually going on in the tongue here, which you typically don't see on the 650 silhouette. So you're definitely gonna get a lot more breathability in this high top. So let's take a look at those details and then jump into the side paneling. All right, so jumping into the side paneling on the medial side, we're getting some nice different gray options here. A light heather gray underneath and then a darker gray on the New Balance and this nice soft textured suede. It's outlined again in more of that nice off-white tumbled leather. We've got New Balance's branding in white here, and this is where we're getting a bit more texture of a hairier feel on the suede. And then as we work our way to the back, this is something that you typically don't see on the 650 silhouette, which is the perforation that they've added on the top of the leather here on the back of the collar. I will say that the 650 silhouette is a bit more suffocating. So I do love that they decided to go with that, just because it's going to give your foot a bit more breathability when you're walking around in these. And then as we wrap around to the lateral side, you're getting the same exact color blocking there, pretty neutral and simplistic in tone. And then again, we've got the New Balance branding on top of that hairy suede texture in white. The interior has JFG for Joe Fresh Goods in white, and then it is in a black and blue color scheme. Let's see what the other side has. And then New Balance is on the right side of the insole. As far as the bottom portion of the sneaker, it's completed in a white midsole and a light heather gray and white outsole. And then for each pair of sneakers, so just so you know how limited these were, there were only 500 pairs released, and these were only released in Chicago. If you actually look on the inner side of the tongue here, this has Joe's signature with a cute little smiley face there. And then it actually has a numbered pair on the back. Mine doesn't have a number, so I could be just sample number 0, but it's really cool that they've decided to really actually label these each individually with the number, just to kind of let you know how exclusive they are. You do get some really cool packaging components with this as well. So we've got a bag, which the sneakers came in. It says, what if the story was different? So this whole concept that he decided to go with and was inspired when he saw that Image and Life magazine was, what if he had actually gone with a different brand, Michael Jordan? How would the story have transitioned? Would New Balance be a different brand today if Jordan had picked them to go with? I don't know, but it's really cool to kind of think about that question and see, would this have changed the future completely as to where we are today? All right, before we get into the details too, I just want to mention we do have a nice embroidered JFG logo here in a light heather gray, and that is on both sides of the lateral side of each sneaker. All right, so let's take a look at those last and final details. All right, so as far as size and fit goes, for the 650 silhouette, I would say stick to your size on this one. I do have high arch, narrow feet, so definitely take that into consideration when deciding on what size range will work best for you. All right, as far as styling goes, again, I love that Joe Fresh Goods kept this very simplistic just because it makes it so easy to style. And this is just something that I know I'm gonna be able to wear with everything and anything. So for the first look, I decided to go with this nice gray maxi dress in a heather gray tone. I feel like going monochromatic with this is a very safe option and gives you a very clean feel to your look. And then for the second look, I decided to go with a charcoal gray cropped top to kind of play off of some of the darker gray hues that I saw in the sneaker itself. And then I wore a pleated mini skirt and a darker gray shade as well. So don't feel like you can't dress these up. I think that the 650 silhouette is one of the easier sneakers to really wear with dressier pieces. Then for the last and final look, I decided to go all denim with a denim maxi dress. Any type of denim color or shade is going to go perfectly with this color blocking.
Tell them don't judge me. Come from a place where shit could get ugly. I took a L and bounced back. You can't touch me. Was down bad, now kick it like rugby. This ain't football, baby. Tell me why you rushing. Oh, that's your girl. Why she over here?
All right, so as far as retail goes, these retailed at $185. Again, this was limited to 500 pairs on its release date, which already happened last week. And again, that was only in Chicago. So congrats to anyone who was able to take W's on these. And again, shout out to Joe Fresh Goods for thinking of me and sending these my way. This is going to be one of the most special sneakers that I will have in my collection. And I'm always going to remember the archive and history and inspiration that you brought to this collaboration. So thank you so much. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. If this was your first time, my name is Marissa Hill. This is ShadeTV. We will catch you all in the next episode.
I just do a lot of crushing. I'm by my paper, I can tell that she love it.